Somewhere Wales, a free drive narrow-gauge game set somewhere in Pembrokeshire. Wales certainly has a lot of trains to choose from, but it also has a large variety of motor vehicles that you can also operate. From small farm tractors, great for running your grain or barrels to market, to massive steamrollers, which are excellent for paving roads or recreating that one scene from Season 4 where George slams into Sir Handel's train because he got offended. Today, I will be ranking all the road vehicles from worst to best. This will be an updated list from my 2021 video, however, since the road vehicles haven't really changed all that much from 2021, it might look similar to the old video's overall lineup, but don't worry, I'll make sure to change things up depending on how they've aged or how Roblox has treated them. I will, however, not be ranking any of the stationary vehicles game as you can't drive them and I'm only ranking the ones that are operable. With all that out of the way, let's get our seatbelts fastened and let's get going. Puttering in the last place is the small farm tractor. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, nothing has changed with this tractor since the first video was released. It still continues to be the same as it was 4 years ago, still doing the wheelies when reversing, and not having been updated since its addition. I really wish this had gotten the same treatment as the other road vehicles were, of the steerable driving wheel, and maybe being given some farm equipment to pull around, but alas, the small tractor stays in spot number 14. Bumping into spot 13 is the old car. This ancient sedan has been in games since before the game was even released and somehow still works to this day, although pretty badly. Honestly, this car has not really aged all that well, with the car being very wobbly and not that stable, constantly leaning to the left or the right, and not wanting to stay straight at all. It also suffers massively when going up hills, such as the one between Quarryman's Hall and Kidston, due to a lack of torque which kinda limits its range, assuming you don't want to take it on the rails, which is less steep. Overall, while this repainted Carolina may be an ancient, somewhat functional relic of the game's history, it is not that great of a runner, and thus will remain at number 13. Struggling into spot number 12 is the Grey Long Lorry. Being one of the newest road vehicles added in-game, the Grey Long Lorry is actually the only road vehicle as of now that was originally added in as a prop and then later became a drivable vehicle. However, the performance of it is pretty bad to say the least. The truck struggles with climbing hills and frequently gets stuck in ruts on the road due to how the rear axle suspension functions. I was debating between putting this or the old car at number 13, but decided to go with the old car as at least the Grey Long Lorry can traverse the entire road network on its own, even if it does have trouble in some sections. Overall, while this is a really cool truck and one I wanted to drive for a really long time, its lack of torque and overall lackluster performance lands it in spot number 12. Steamrolling her way into number 11 is the ever-iconic Bluebell. Bluebell is a steamroller and thus is responsible for paving the roads in Wales. Being yet again another older road vehicle, Bluebell's life has had its ups and downs. Being added all the way back in 2019, Bluebell originally had an issue with her steering which, if turned too much, would cause the front roll to glitch and break. This issue would eventually be fixed and now she runs quite well. The reason why I'm putting her at number 11 is because she's honestly not that much fun to drive. Being a steamroller, it takes her a while to get anywhere in the map, although she can traverse the entire map along with the fact that her flywheel isn't animated, which I think it once was, but I could be wrong. Overall, while Bluebell may be slow, she's still a reliable steamroller nonetheless. Shuffling down from Kidston into number 10 is the often overlooked and somewhat forgotten Farmer's Friend. Farmer's Friend is a traction engine, meaning it's used for powering portable machinery like threshers and other equipment that require power but don't have their own built-in engine. Farmer's Friend used to spawn at Kidston with Richmond and Rutley, but has since been moved to the farmhouse near where the magical number 5 spawns and is often ignored/forgotten by the people passing by. The reason why I ranked them higher than Bluebell is that it's just slightly faster than her and has a fully animated flywheel and piston, which overall just makes it look way more realistic than Bluebell. Farmer's Friend, while having been moved and somewhat forgotten by the player base, is still a fun vehicle to pull out and drive once in a while, and thus goes into spot number 10. Pulling into the gas station at spot number 9 are the Flatnosed Lorries. The Flatnosed Lorries are, as their namesake, flat-nosed trucks with the engine being under the cab instead of in front. These trucks come in two variations, being a blue one with an open bed at the back, and the ever iconic Harry's Purest tanker truck. These trucks, while being slightly faster than the regular trucks, do tend to have a slower acceleration and are a lot heavier than the others, which can cause them to have a few issues with the road, but they run really well overall. These big trucks overall do their job well, whether it be hauling bulk goods by road or refueling the local gas station with petrol, and thus go into spot number 9. Driving along the roads, and number 8 is the civilian car. The civilian car is basically the upgraded old car and was added in the April 2022 update, most likely intending to replace the old car, although it never did, and both still exist in game. The civilian car is significantly better than the old car, being able to hit a top speed of 50 miles per hour and seating 4 with a completely updated design. However, the car does suffer from some power issues when going up the hill between God Keeps and Fios de Dia Full, slowing down to a crawl and sometimes struggling to get up the hill in general. Overall, this car runs significantly better than the old car and is a great car when carpooling with your friends on the roads in somewhere Wales. Rumbling into spot 7 is the green lorry. The green lorry is the older cousin to the grey lorry, albeit running way more powerfully than the grey lorry. Spotted at Fios de Dia Full, this truck originally could hit a top speed of 73 miles an hour, making it at the time the fastest truck in game. However, since then, it's been lowered down to a mere 40 miles an hour. Even with this speed reduction, it's still a pretty good truck overall. Being a 2-axle compared to a 3-axle, it can traverse the roads of Wales way better, although it does struggle somewhat in certain sections. Overall, this Soviet-style truck does its job well, hauling goods and minerals up and down the roads of Wales. Speeding into spot number 6 is the yellow Roadster. Back in my first ranking video, I said that the Roadster was pretty weak and was just a cheap copy of the green Roadster. Since then, the car has been overhauled slightly, being given a collapsible roof and new music, making it significantly better than the original one in 2021. I've also realized since then that this car is just really great for casual driving with good torque, good speed, and good weight, although it is kind of annoying to get to as it spawns at Fios de Diafo, meaning it's out of the way of most of the major teleport areas. Overall, this car has jumped up massively in the ranking and is a commendable, reliable car that'll get you wherever you need to go and the roads of somewhere Wales. Coming up in the spot number 5 is the magical number 5. And yes, this was intentional. The magical number 5 has for the longest time been the fastest car in game, hitting a top speed of 127 miles per hour, being the fastest car in game. It does come with a lot of caveats, the main one being poor handling at the higher speeds and the lightness of the vehicle causing it to slide around when hitting curves, and sometimes if you're not careful, can flip over completely. The model is also pretty old, as it's not been updated since it was added, but even with these issues, it's still an incredible race car and will smoke literally all the competition, assuming you don't careen off the cliff. Overall, this non-road legal racer will continue to beat out the competition for years to come. Backing up into spot 4 are the old trucks. The old trucks are the most numerous road vehicle in the game, having plenty of different paints and designs spread across the map. The old trucks are based off the late 1920s Volvo LV series, specifically the LV4 variant, which was produced between 1928 and 1930. The old trucks, while seemingly pretty basic at first, are some of the most reliable and versatile general-purpose road vehicles in-game. They can traverse the entire map without struggling on many, if not any of the slopes on the roads of Wales. They are also really smooth running and having amazing handling. I also forgot to mention this, but all the trucks in-game with open empty beds can be loaded with coal, parcels from batch quests, and limestone, although currently the limestone doesn't show, and can be unloaded like the trains, which is something I've wanted for a long time now. Overall, these trucks are some of the best choices for a reliable, hard-working road vehicle in game that'll get you and your load wherever you need to go on the roads of Wales. Roaring into spot number 3 is the fastest truck in game, the Chaz. The Chaz is the newest road vehicle added to the game, not counting previously static vehicles, and is a racer at its core. This truck can hit an impressive top speed of 109 miles per hour and outperforms most other cars in the game, apart from the magical 5 in speed alone. However, that's kinda where its strengths end. The Chaz has one of, if not the worst handling I've ever seen in a road vehicle. The steering is insanely poor and is equivalent to trying to steer a brick with rockets on it, along with the brakes being pretty bad as well. Meaning if you don't slow down and take the curves carefully, you're not going to stop in time before getting to the cliff and either slamming into it or careening over it. Even with all these faults, it's still a really fast truck, and if you're good at handling speedy vehicles, you'll have a blast using this to beat out your competition at your next rally. Racing at spot number 2 is the longest sports car in game, the Roadstar. The Roadstar is one of the free cars that completed in the Highland Runabout. Well, I think. I actually don't know if that's still canon or not since the last video was made during the old Steamroller lore. Whatever the case, the Roadstar is one of the free roadsters in game and is the second fastest sports car in game, topping out at 70 miles an hour and having really good handling. Although, the length can make it somewhat difficult to control in some instances, but it does have a pretty good soundtrack. Overall, the Roadstar is one of the best cars to use in game, but it's not the number 1. At number 1 is the most iconic road vehicle in Wales, the fastest sports car in game, has one of the best songs ever. That's right, it's the Roadster! Yeah, it's pretty obvious this was going to end up at number 1. The Roadster, or as it is called in game, the Green Roadster, is one of the best road vehicles in game. Being the fastest out of all the Roadster models and having the best handling out of all the cars in game at its top speed of 78 miles an hour, this Roadster has certainly earned the title of the best car in game. While it may not be as fast as the magical number 5 or Chaz, its sheer performance and excellent handling allows it to make accurate pinpoint turns on a dime and smoke the competition. It also used to have Daytona USA Let's Go Away, which when playing and driving just added so much to the experience. Overall, the Roadster is still the best road vehicle in game and will continue to be for many years to come, because when it comes to racing in Wales, it's either the Roadster or the road. Well, that's another ranking video wrapped up and ranked. Thank you all so much for watching this revamp of a ranking video. I'll admit, it was kinda easier than the last ones just because a lot of the vehicles haven't really changed in the past 4 years since the first video was made, but I did find the changes of some placement to be quite interesting. Anyway, tune in next time for the 4th iteration of the Dead Roblox train game series. Without all that away, thank you all so much again for watching, and I'll see you all later. Have a great day.